Coming to you live from the northern Great Plains, it's the 10 Point Podcast. My name is Bruce, and a long time ago, it is said a podcast came here. I thought that was going to be longer when I started writing it down and started saying it, but the story ended there. I just stopped it there. Yeah, not the best Michael Pena. With me on the hunt this week, this is as far as he goes, no more. This is Chris.
My time has come.
And he's smarter than a beaver. It's Andy.
Hey.
And literally, there's like no jabs, quips, that really works for the intro. It's not the snippiest movie that ever is, but there you go. A couple intros. We are the 10 Point Podcast. We do podcasts, we review movies, we do movie news. You can find us at 10pointpodcast.com. If you Google us, we show up about 100 times on all our different sites. If you listen to a website, If you listen to a podcast app, we're on that, 10 Point Podcast. You can find us on YouTube. We're 10 Point Podcast over there as well. There's video versions on YouTube and video versions on Spotify where you can see us talking the podcast words out loud. But other than that, you can hear us everywhere.
Shit.
Exactly. So 10pointpodcast.com for all your 10 Point Podcast bits and pieces. Like I mentioned, we do a news podcast. It should be on your feed. Last week, it didn't make it onto the feed because of how disastrous it was. Andy's
Slide suck donkey dick.
called out who's responsible again. But yes, there should now be a news one before this podcast. So have a look up and there's us covering the week's news and expect to be one next week too. So what's the point of this podcast? Point number one, the 10 Point Podcast says the 2022 action adventure sci-fi horror thriller drama, the whole thing, Prey, a brand new film brought to us by 20th Century Studios, basically Disney, now that they own 20th Century Fox and called it something else. So because of that, we haven't done any of their films before because 20th Century Studios is technically a new production company. They'd make Free Guy, The Last Duel, and The New Mutants, 3 films that have been mentioned on the podcast. Also making Prey, Lawrence Gordon Productions, responsible for the first 2 Predators, the first 2 Tomb Raiders, the Hellboy movies, and Watchmen, which I thought was an interesting mix, and not much else. That's kind of pretty much what they've made. And Davis Entertainment Company. They're behind all the Predators, but also Waterworld, a film we've covered before on a previous episode, which was a banger, underrated classic. Spoiler for that episode, but yeah, go watch Waterworld. It deserves more eyeballs on it. Prey, based on characters by Jim Thomas and John Thomas. I don't know if they're brothers, but they were named separately in the credits, so it wasn't like Jim and John Thomas. It was each of them had their surname. They wrote the first 2 Predator movies. Basically, they came up with the whole Predator idea and are credited with the characters and everything that a Predator ever appears in afterwards. The film, however, was written by 2 people. One was Patrick Ison. I think that's how you pronounce it. His first feature film. The only other writing credits he has are 4 total episodes of television, and it's from 4 different television shows. So he'd written basically 4 hours of television that then got given, well, go write Prey for Disney. So, yeah,
Well,
fair play.
It's not a spoiler. It wasn't a stretch, let's face it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of words in it. Yeah.
It's like right there. I can't write for shit. Leave Americans, that's what we'll do it.
Yeah. Throw in a shot of mountains and river and mountains and trees.
No, there. Boom, done.
The end. Yeah. However, co-written and directed by Dan Trachtenberg. He directed 10 Cloverfield Lane. That is the big thing that he's responsible for. I'm a big fan of that film. I think it was a very good sequel to Cloverfield. However, the Cloverfield Paradox, a very bad not sequel. That it was just stapled on to try and make some money out of it. But yeah, ignore the paradox. But 10 Cloverfield Lane, I do recommend. Dan Trachtenberg also directed Black Mirror episode Playtest, which I quite liked, which is the guy has like the AI injected in his head, and it's like one of the horror episodes of Black Mirror.
Oh, is that the one with Kurt Russell's son in it?
Yes, I think it might have been.
I have seen that one.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw Huey in anything. And speaking of him, Dan Trachtenberg directed the first episode of The Boys as well. Oh. So, but again, that's pretty much it. He's not done a hell of a lot either. So these are 2 brand new chaps in the movie world making this film. In Prey, starring as Naru, we have Amber Midthunder, which is a great name. She's been in some stuff, but I'm not really aware of them. So Hell or High Water. She was in every episode of Legion, the television show. She was in The Ice Road with Liam Neeson. And then she was in 44 out of like 50 odd episodes of Roswell, New Mexico. And then she was in Prey. So she's been in a bunch of stuff, but this is like probably her biggest movie she's been in. Co-starring as her brother Tabby, we have Dakota Beavers, even better name. And literally, this is the first thing he's ever been in. If you go onto IMDb and you find Dakota Beavers, easy to find, he's been in this, and he's been on a show being interviewed about this. And that is what his credits are. So, well done, Dakota. Welcome to the big time. And then our third man, as the Predator, Dane DeLigro. People need it easier for me to say names. Like Mid-Thunder Beavers, I can say that. But anyway, Dane, he was the Predator, big tall guy, but not as tall as previous Predators, which I'm sure we'll get into. He was in 2 episodes of Sweet Home. He was in 2 episodes of American Horror Stories, 1 episode of The Quest, and then he was in Prey. So yes, not much in terms of experience here. No big stars, no big name. This was made on merit. This was an IP. This was, we'll make a Predator prequel. Let's not put anybody famous in it. Let's just make what we want to make. On a budget of, I do not know. I scoured the internet. I thought somewhere this new movie would be talked about how much money it costs to make. I cannot find how much this movie costs to make. So on a budget of that,
it's cheap. It's cheap.
probably not too much. Well, again, it depends.
30 million.
Probably.
Unless they're ciphering some money here, backhanders, big wigs.
There's been a lot of promotion for it, but it's not been forced down my throat, and also it is just releasing on Disney rather than cinemas. So there's not much money need to go into that side of it, which means for its opening weekend in the US, it made $0 because it went to Disney. Or it went to Hulu, sorry. It went to Hulu. Apparently it's the most watched movie on Hulu, which sounds about right because I can't think of any other film that's been as big that got launched on Hulu. I could be wrong. In the UK, we got it on Disney Plus, and then so other money things. I don't have any answers because it hasn't made any money. It's all on streaming. If Disney's charging more a month nowadays, then maybe some more money.
Ridiculous. For a tip to save some money.
Yeah, exactly. Andy's news, money saving tips over there. Released 5th of August 2022. Means it's eligible for the 2023 award season, which hasn't started yet. So
We'll have to come back and do that then.
yeah, so at some point we will return to the 2023 Saturn Awards to see if Prey actually gets in with a shout. If the Saturn Awards is still going, which I'm assuming it is, this has to be like it's the sort of film that would be featured at the Saturn Awards. Like I could see how it might be mentioned. Let's leave it at that for now. Maybe MTV Movie Awards, I don't know. But either way, award ceremonies, we don't know it. Synopsis for Prey, written by, it didn't have a name on it, so I'm just going to assume it's Claudio from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, because he heard we were doing it. It's not the most in-depth one either, I'm afraid. Prey, the origin story of the Predator in the world of... allegedly, the origin story of the Predator, which it isn't, in the world of the Comanche Nation. There we go, that's our answer. It was the Comanche. 300 years ago, almost to the day, which also tells me that's probably when this film was meant to come out, because it's weird to date it 1719. Like, why 19 necessarily? So it might supposed to be come out a couple of years ago. Naru, a skilled warrior, fights to protect her tribe against one of the first highly evolved predators to land on Earth. Again, she was kind of protecting herself more than anything, rather than the tribe. Who picked it? It was Andy. Andy, why did you pick it?
Because it fits my theme, and I wanted to watch Predator.
Fair enough.
Rather than watch Predator, I thought we'll do this.
Had we seen it before? No.
No.
It came out last week or this week or whatever week it is. It came out. Yeah, the 1st of August when it came out. Which channel would we watch it on? Disney Plus. And which version did we watch? We watched the Disney Plus version.
There's another version on it called the Comanche.
On you go, Chris. Yes, there is another version.
I was just fiddling about the extras and I seen the Comanche version. So, I'll watch this. And it was just them talking Comanche. I was like, nah. I've already seen it.
There are, yeah, you can get a version in English, you can get a version in Comanche, dubbed over, and you can get an English version with Comanche subtitles.
I genuinely thought it was them and just done it again, but they were saying they were speaking Comanche instead of thinking about it, it's just dubbed over. I was disappointed.
Speaking of which, I checked myself, because when I got to like I don't know if Andy did the same thing, but when they got to like the 5th scene where someone was speaking in French, I was like...
I thought, wait, there's Disney fuck me, and I was like, where's the subtitles here? I don't understand French.
Yeah, so I thought, right, I'll have a look. So I put subtitles on, wind it back, and it just goes in French. Écartez-vous, and I'm like, right, okay, no subtitles off. Right, okay.
Yeah,
So.
no, I kind of powered through. I was like, it's got to be a shady copy on Disney Plus, is it? Surely not.
That was a slight spoiler, by the way. I realised that someone was speaking in French. So on that subject, it's just brand new. We're going to be heavy spoilers from point 2 onwards. So before we get any further, Andy, why don't you lead us off before we get into heavy spoilers?
So I need to give a shout out to one of our proper listeners. It's probably the best way to describe it because it's the way I think this film. It's a spoiler-free, non-spoiler review. But Brendan, I was talking to him on Facebook, and he watched it. He enjoyed it, but he has exactly the same thought as me. If you like Pocahontas and Predator, if Disney have put both of them together, it makes Pocahontas and Predators.
Yeah.
So that's the best way to describe this film without spoiling it.
There you go. So there you go. That sort of thing. Yeah, I thought I'd mention that like it's an hour and 40, 100 minutes, not too long, but it's definitely worth your time. Like I feel like quite a lot, like Ninja Turtles last week, spoiler for that episode. It's an hour and a half long, but it's a waste of time because it's not bad.
I forgot. I need to hold my hands up. I fucked up on Turtles.
Oh really?
So I completely forgot there was 3 Ninja Turtle films.
Right.
So there was the one we did last week. There was number 2, which is all about the ooze. And then number 3 is the time traveling one.
Ah, okay.
2 and 3 together, but no, they are actually separate films.
I see. So there's a
So
third.
2 is worth your time. 3, just don't bother.
Right. Maybe we'll get around to that. Yeah. So yeah, Ninja Turtles is not worth your time. It's just completely just nothing. Whereas this, I think, is worth your time. You're not disappointed with your hour and a half. I don't know about you, Chris. Did you get anything non-spoilery to say on the film before we get into it?
Just go give it a watch. It breathes fresh air into what was a dying franchise. I would say.
Well put, Chris. Very well put. You get nothing like that beyond this point on the podcast. That was as succinct an answer
It's
as
going to turn into shits and swears.
Yeah. Yeah, Andy's going to get let loose, I would imagine. Okay, on to point 2. Heavy spoilers from now on.
Let's held them back long enough.
We're just gonna talk about what happens basically and whether it was good or not. So high points. What's the best bits? Andy, why don't you lead us off?
Right. So when we started, I was like, straight away, I know this is a Predator film. I was like, looking on the screen, I was like, it's not a Predator. Oh, is it? No, it's not a Predator. Oh, that's not a Predator. Every second of just nothing, I was waiting for a Predator or a click or something, or just a little bit of active cameo. So that was actually a high point for me. I was just playing, where's the Predator? Where is he?
It's my second high point is nothing. No film does ominous shots of trees like a Predator movie does. All you do is just point a camera at some trees, and you'll be like, "Is it there? Is it there?" And then they can or they can't put anything. Like either way, you can be like, "There probably is one there." It's like even if you don't change it.
Birds flew away. There's definitely a Predator in that bush.
No, and then like it drops down. You're like, this whole time it's not been there.
Yeah,
and you've been looking for it.
Hasn't landed yet. Yeah. So I've got my first high point actually comes before even that, which is like the prologue of her. Is it a tomahawk or is it just an axe? Like I always immediately think it's a tomahawk that she has. So
can we say that?
Well, that's it. I didn't want to go steamroll straight into it. I'll call it a tomahawk. She's got her tomahawk thing, chuck it into the tree, and then we get the first sign of the good boy in the film. I think it's a good boy.
That's my first high point is the dog.
Good dog.
Anyone who wants a dog, this is how you want your dog to be.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys are like, now is the perfect time because it's going to really change perspective on this dog. Has anybody did any research on this dog?
I've seen a little bit.
Apparently, he was a randy cunt on set.
I think I've read that.
Apparently, he was a little bit rambunctious on set, and he was a lot of fun to film with, but there was a lot of retakes.
Right. Okay. Again, not an actor dog as such. It was an adopted dog that they trained for a couple of months before the movie or something like that. I think I read. But
I always hate when there's like a dog in a horror film because you're just waiting for it to get hurt.
Yeah.
And like. It was just that scene not long after you.
Yeah,
once when you hear it yelp, I was like, "Oh no, not already!" And you see it's just the wee dog's tail.
I like to also before you actually properly hear the ship arriving, there is like a sound effect of the ship doing something that scares the deer before they chase after the scene as well. I like that. But yeah, on reflection, the dog getting trapped in the bear trap and her being a bit confused by it. I thought that was like a predator had left out there, and that's why she was a bit confused.
Yeah.
Now that was from like the Frenchman that had left it there. She's also confused at that.
And that's also, I liked you may as well start spoiling now. Like the French coming into it. Like they're not in the trailers. They're not like it's all just her and the Comanches, and then it's like a bear trap, and then suddenly you see like all the bison all skinned. They're like, oh, this predator's like.
Yeah, I know. Jill thought the predator just went fucking nuts and just skinned everything.
Yeah, I like that because at that point, was it after the bison? I think it would be about the bison. It was like 40 odd minutes into the film. And I'm like, we're pretty much heading towards the head-to-head here. Like they're not. It's 1v. We're down to 1v1 basically. It's like, how are we going to double the length of this film here? And then that's when the Frenchmen arrive, and I'm like, okay, there is another aspect to this movie. So just not just like a kind of battle between two people. Yeah, but even before then, I've got another high point. I must say, I'm a bit stuck for some of the character names because I'm not very many were properly introduced. I got narrowed down, but the brother I had to look up and all that sort of stuff. But
yeah, I couldn't remember his name.
So I've called him Negative Nelly when he got by the lion in the tree while bragging that he was the one that could kill the lion, but Naru can't. I very much liked that scene. So I don't know. I'm assuming Negative Nelly never came back again because I don't think he did.
Oh, right, I thought you were talking about her brother. I was like,
no.
The tree. Yeah, I know what you mean now.
That's Tabby, his brother. But yeah, I don't know which character he was. I'm looking at the cast list and I'm not sure. I don't know. None of those names jump out at me as being that particular guy. But yeah, it was a great misdirection of. Well, we're all sitting thinking, ha ha ha, these idiots, they think it's a lion, it's a predator. And, oh, fuck, actually, it's a lion.
I know, it's like, that seems like, oh, here we go. Here's the predator's going to step in here, like his spears is going straight to the lion.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is their first viewing of the predator. Nope.
Still no predator.
I just love the fact that it's like they're like passing ships, the predator and the Comanche tribe. You're thinking, I think they do it really well when you've seen him skin the snake and they're at the snake. You think, oh, he's nearby here. Something's going to happen. And it never does. And then I think it's just after the bear, where they're just carried right there. And then she goes through the mud and you're thinking, here we go. They're going full on predator here. She's going to kick herself in mud and the predator's going to walk right past her.
Yeah, didn't really pay off either.
None. Yeah. I just liked the fact that they kind of alluded to predator and little thingamies and then just fucking went a different way with it.
It's a good introduction to what a predator looks like if you'd never seen one before. Say this was your first predator movie. They do treat it as in, like back in the old days, oh, there's this creepy thing around, but we don't quite know what it looks like yet. And it's like, well, we all know what it looks like because we've seen a dozen predator movies. But if you're brand new to this, or even if you came into this not knowing that it was a predator movie, you might not be, obviously, the first time you can see it but can't see it, you would probably work it out. But if you don't know anything about predators, it does you see a little bit here, a little bit there. Oh, that's something it can do. Oh, that's something it can do, and it slowly, and then you get full on the predator is here later on. But yeah, I like
that they've never seen before is the fact that you see it working up the food chain. Like you see it started for the snake, and then it goes for the wolf, and then it goes for the bear, and then it sees the humans. All the others are just gone straight for the humans in other films.
Well, the theory I was thinking about, and then I read someone else suggesting that's what they were going for, was that this might be the first predator to come here. Now, I know our synopsis said one of, but the way, like you say, that it attacks basically a smaller animal and then a wolf, as I say, works as if it doesn't know what is on the planet. So therefore, right, what have I got to kill? I think it looks pretty dangerous. I'll go kill that. And then it's like it finds out, oh, there's something more dangerous than that. Or there's something, and then it's kind of exploring its way around. It doesn't really know what the apex predator of the planet is. And, I finally found her. Here she is. She's the be all end all. But yeah, I like that idea. And my high points from now on, there is a trend to them. I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 6 more high points, and 5 of them have the word verses in them.
Yeah.
So if there's anything that anyone has that isn't a fight, go ahead.
Not until later on. My next one is literally the bear.
Well, I had the wolf before that. I quite enjoyed the wolf scene.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about the wolf.
With the wolf chasing the rabbit, and then just going boom, just hitting basically into the predator. But yeah, I like that.
That made me think that's the first time I've seen the predator so fast, because it was watching it from a mile away, and you see it running, and now nowhere it just boots it.
Yeah. And then I'd kind of forgotten. I don't know the kind of the trophy gimmick with the predator, but when it kills the wolf, and then you see it going like invisibly, kind of cutting into it. I'm like, oh, is it doing it for food? And all of a sudden the head gets lobbed off, and I'm like, oh, maybe it is. And then there goes the spine waving it around. And oh yeah, they do that, don't they? So yeah, I like the wolf scene. But yeah, the bear is next for me.
That was an awesome fight. That was like, when you see her messing up with the bow, and you think, oh, here we go, the bear's just going to get her, it's going to run away, and then blah blah blah. But then you see the predator just again boot it out of nowhere.
Just had a fist fight with it. Like literally, just comes in. It's just like I'm just going to wrestle this bear in this river. It's a brutal fight, which is one person's invisible. It's quite weird.
Yeah. This predator is like every single thing he gets attacked by, doesn't he? Like he literally is always bleeding anytime he attacks something.
Yeah.
He's totally getting fucked up every single fight he's in.
Again, which adds more to he might not really know what he's dealing with on this planet. It might be why he keeps getting bled.
Well, so I said that this predator was like from like the southern hemisphere of the predator homeworld.
Right.
So he is like not part of any of the clans that you see. So basically what's happened is they've got light speed engines and they've decided to take off, and it's like, we'll go and explore our galaxy like our like northern brothers have started doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Which kind of explains, because it's kind of where like the predator I like the predator kind of lore and stuff like that, and this one just kind of drops in and goes, nah, we don't give a shit about any of that.
That doesn't happen first.
him saying that kind of does actually, yes, this predator's never been there, this clan doesn't know anything about Earth. It kind of pays off, whereas like the kind of the bloodied predators and the kind of ones we know are they've dealt with the ones like the Mayans and stuff like that. And
I guess that's why he's a bit smaller. It also helps. He looks a wee bit different as well. He's not.
Because that's the feral predator in this one. He's the feral predator.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
They've all got different. So they've got like the bloodied, the unbloodied. You've got like elder predators, which are all from the same homeworld apparently. But this one's just like a little outcast. Like they've got their own little tribe that they don't give a shit. But obviously they still follow the whole hunting ethos.
Yeah. It's in their nature.
Which the latest Predator film fucked everything up and does not exist.
It wasn't so bad. It had problems, but it wasn't so bad.
Iron Man 2, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So my next one I've got is the French versus the Predator.
Yes.
I love the twist in this one, like the twisty twist, like as Chris would say. It's like, oh, they're well smart. They've tied them up, and it's like, all right, this Predator's outsmarted them. It just completely bravehearted them, came up behind, wiped them all. But the French had another idea. It's like, genius. Didn't see that coming.
I genuinely thought one of the French guys was Ryan Reynolds for the minute we turned over.
I do wonder about their plan. Like, surely their plan wasn't to sacrifice, I don't know, half a dozen of their brethren up on the hill. So those ones sat under the blankets just hearing this, I don't know, whatever the hell was going on up there. Oh, God, stay where they are, waiting for it. So... But ultimately, it was very unsuccessful because the Predator went on one of the most brutal 10-minute assassination runs I've ever seen.
That bear trap to the face was majestic.
Oh yeah, the bear trap was good. Yeah, I like the shield where he opened it and just went and just caught like the guy's head, the tree, everything out in one go. It was really, really good. But the bear trap. Throwing bear trap. I think I've got my count later on, but he must have killed at least 15 of them in that one scene. Every single one of them in a different way as well, which is it's amazing fun.
He's got like a view of all these different weapons in a different explosion thing.
Yeah. A great brutality scene.
My next one is the scene pretty much right after that when Naru goes to get the dog. And the legless guy comes in and she's like helping them get better and things.
Well, I had her beating up the rest of the French before then.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
She's got a full-on tomahawk on a rope now, and she's like, "Wow, God, just killing everybody, doing the
way that works." By the way, I'm telling you.
It was like a Homer one. As soon as she pulled it, I was like, straight to her hat. It's like Thor's hammer.
Go buy a tomahawk, Chris. Tie a rope to it and see how easy it is. We need to know.
I'll come back next week with a tomahawk to my forehead. It doesn't work, guys.
But yeah, the one-legged man, which I'll come into that on my low points. But yeah, the one-legged fella, Chris. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say I like the fact that like she's helping them learn about the gun and things, and then you can't have an inkling about she gives them that orange flower to like help them. I don't know what it does, like makes you cool and it's supposed to make you I don't know, numb the pain or something like that. And then he's just like frozen when the Predator comes in, and he's like. Predator's looking confused, like, I can see blood, but I can't see her body here. What's going on?
Yeah, I like that. I like the development because I was going to complain about the early scene where she's in the tent with her mother and the mum's complaining at her and all that sort of stuff. But it does play into this bit where she knows that all these different plants do these different things. And yeah, the genius that was, I don't know, at that point, was she making him cold for that reason, or was that was that a
I
happy
think it's like a painkiller because she gave it to the other guy as well.
Because later on she gives it to the guy on purpose so that it works like that, I think. Or no, she takes it herself on purpose, I should say.
Yeah.
But I think it was maybe a happy accident that
I
happened.
mean, it's the best way to fight a predator is tripping balls on some random flower.
Yeah.
Predator, that's what I'm doing. Some fucking mushrooms ain't going to attack us, bastard.
She does tend to do basically the same thinking process that Arnie does in the original Predator film, which is eventually it's the heat and works her way around it. So I've only got one more high point. I don't know about you guys.
The big
like
fight at the end.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Carry on then with the big fight.
Well, I like the little prelude to the fight where she's like sacrificing the fur guy, and if you think the fur guy's like, oh, here you go, how's he getting gone, blah blah blah, and then she just see like a little sidestep as a predator walks past her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got to say, I like the guy's helmet. The predator's helmet. It's different. This is got like the skull. I don't know if you can see it behind me.
A bit blurry behind you. Yeah, he has a slightly different look. Of course, Andy's explained that he's a different kind of predator, as it were. Yep. So it would make feral predator. So yeah, and of course it comes off as they always do, so we can see its scary face.
I was like Glenn when she is as well. Junkie predators.
It's not like homeless predators. They don't have anything. They're on the crack. And then this one's finally got enough bus fare money to go to a new town, and he's kicking off.
Causes bother immediately. Yeah, and again, I wasn't desperately keen on her getting stuck in the bog earlier, but obviously it came back into her plan at the end that she'd drown the predator in the bog.
I normally hate the bits where like, oh, he's drowning. It's like he's coming back. You've not done it.
Yeah, he's knew that instantly.
His own weapon, which that predator should have learned early on. It's like, wait there, my arrows are heat-seeking or homing to wherever this laser touches. I don't have my helmet. I don't know where it's pointing. Let's not fire blindly. He did it twice in this film. This thing didn't turn.
I'll definitely be touching on that in the low points. But I do have one final high point, which is the animated credits at the end.
Oh, yeah.
It tells the story of the film and then has a bonus bit at the end. I don't know if you guys noticed that the end of the animation ends with 3 Predator ships appearing in the sky and the Comanche looking a bit worried. So I quite like those. It was worth hanging around for. But yeah, I liked it. It was
which we all know what happens at the end is it's just the chieftains come down, give them a trophy, and say, "Yep, you're good, and we'll leave you for a while." That's what Predator.
Okay. Right. Well, we'll come to that later because I do have what happens next. So we'll dig deeper into that. On to low points. Point 3 on the podcast. What we thought the worst bits were. Does anyone want to start?
Yeah, the fact they went straight to streaming. I would love to have watched this in the cinema. The sound and everything would be awesome.
I mean, I've got a 65-inch telly, and even I was struggling trying to find the Predator for the first 40 minutes.
For me, it was trying to watch this in the daylight was tough in some of the dark scenes. I was literally sitting like this, I can't see what's happening. But yeah, I'd have watched it on a big screen, I think, because
it would have benefited big time from an actual release.
Yeah, I think so. Surround sounds like it would have been good.
This is up there with Mortal Kombat. Like Mortal Kombat should have been at the cinema.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was like streaming, and then some cinemas showed it. It's like, no, just put it on the cinema. Yeah. That's what people need.
I might watch it again with my headset in to get surround sound.
Yeah, I had headphones in.
Terrifying. But my biggest low point, the French.
Oh, really? Okay.
I like. It's just the subtitle part of it because, like I said, it really took me out when, like I've watched films at the cinema when the subtitles come up and I want to go and turn them off, but I can't. So you got to go out and go. You put me in the wrong screen, you bell end. No, you selected this. No, I did not. And then it's a whole. And then the same thing happened here. I was like, why is it like, oh, fucking settings in Disney? It's like, no, it just says speaking in French. It's like, you fucking bastards. That's a low point straight away. It should just come up. There is meant to be no subtitles at the start of this film. Watch it how it is.
Like, either tell me what they're saying, because there's enough that it feels like you're supposed to know what they're saying. Like, there's enough scenes of them on their own. Like, if Naru's there, I understand. Okay, I can't understand them because she can't understand them. But it should either be like, here's what they're saying. Oh, go get the girl from the cage, or it should just say it in French on the subtitles. Yes. And I was like, okay, I'm not supposed to know what to say. It's like,
also, we're meant to believe the Comanche have got speaking better English than we do. 'Cause-
Did you see the trivia on this? Because I saw the trivia.
No.
They wanted to do what was done in The Hunt for Red October and also in Valkyrie. The film starts with them speaking in Comanche,
I've seen
and then
that
it
in other films as
slowly
well.
phases through into
Right.
being English. So we know, oh, they're actually speaking Comanche, but we can understand them for us.
I've been alright with that because, like, other than that, I cannot racistly put Native American in my head. But they were speaking perfect American, where I was like thinking, like, I'm not going to do an accent,
Yeah.
but I was thinking like Indian chieftain type voices, and I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm glad you didn't do that. However, you're speaking perfect English better than we do.
If they'd even done like the bit at the beginning, like I said for the intro, which was what was it? A long time ago, it has said, was it a monster came here or something like that? If they just said that in Comanche, and then just kind of then started speaking into English, I would have been all right. Maybe I can see what you're doing here, because it's so brief, such a brief intro that it would have worked. So my first low point. I'm very pernickety with some of my low points. I do apologize here.
Yeah,
So,
like that.
ant, mouse, snake, predator, one after another, the food chain. It seemed very forced. Like it's like, oh, here's prey, and then here's prey, and prey, and prey, and prey, and prey. And it seems like one of these things you have nowadays in films that it's memeable. Like it's intentionally made so someone can put like, here's your football team. Here's the football team that beat that football team,
Yeah.
and then here's the best football team. Like for these sort of things to happen. So I feel like they forced that in to be a meme from now on. For like, anytime there's always a bigger fish, like Liam Neeson says. So, and also.
Oh, that was a cool quote I was trying to think of. There's always a bit of fresh, yeah.
And also, they did it a couple of times, like the rabbit and the wolf, and then the predator. And it's like, okay, we get the idea. Okay, there's a food chain around here, and the film's called Prey. So yeah, that was my next one.
My first particular one is the lion. In my head, when they were talking about a lion, I was expecting one of those big fuckers from the plains of Africa. And I was just like, how the fuck did a lion get over there to here? And then when it jumped up, I was like, mountain lion, that's why. I felt like a complete tube.
It's not a low point, but I've stuck a question in here. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to think this, but the film made me think this. Did Naru kill the lion, then fall from the tree? Then her brother carried her back to the town, and then just go back and get the lion and be like, oh, yeah, I had to hunt it down. And
Yeah.
I'm a great warrior now.
And maybe she at least injured him because he did say that you had done all the work, basically. And I just finished it off.
So when it got to that scene, I was like, is he going to admit now that she actually killed the lion and he hid it so that she wasn't proven as a hunter and she could, like, she's being held, kept away from this life, and he could take all the glory. But yeah, he didn't actually admit it.
And like, kind of on that point, right? We know the predator can cover some ground fairly quickly. The humans can't so much, but this seems to all take place like 5 minutes from the camp, and nobody else knows what's going on because they're moving around like, oh, she's fucked, take her back to camp, go and get the lion, oh, there. All right, I'm going to go over there, but it's going to be a big trek. But then everybody catches up with her really quickly. It's like, how many breaks are you having?
And then no one rides a horse. Like they get horses to escape in the end, but not at any point have they ever needed a horse prior to that. They're all just running around chasing after things.
Yeah, right. I've got a low point that kind of runs in and out of this film. What the fuck was with the CGI half the time? Some of it was absolutely spectacular, and then I get a bear running like they've not actually put the ground in properly. It was kind of hovering on the
bear was what really flagged me. I really struggled with the bear.
Yeah.
The first half, before it started fighting the predator, once the whole scene was CGI, predator versus like invisible predator versus bear, it got better. But yeah, like you say, just having like a South Park style bear running around after the dog.
Like, oh, this dog looks awesome. It's like because it's a real fucking dog, but then this weird bear that they just superimposed on. It's like, oh, this is really taken out of me, which kind of actually spoiled the reveal for the predator, which obviously you've seen glimpses of. But it's like, oh, we're gonna finally get it, and then the reveal's pretty good, and it's like they've upped their special effects. Then you've had 5 minutes of just this weird bear running around. Just does not fit.
What I think was a real wolf chasing a rabbit that wasn't there was also a bit funny as well. Like the dog looked really good as they CGI'd that. I'll hold my hands up, but I think it was a real wolf. But yeah, with this quite clearly just kind of fake rabbit running around, and then just the way it's always the way the animals move. All of a sudden they move naturally, but it doesn't seem to fit. Like it seems like it's too orchestrated. Yeah, it's too orchestrated. Yeah. On the animal front, my next little point. So the Frenchmen kill a herd of buffalo and then just leave them. Are these human beings not hungry? Like, are they not hungry? What, like, what 5 years worth of food just lying in a field. They could have
Have you
taken.
not watched the Leo film? What's that? The Departed.
Revenant.
I've watched the Departed. I'm not
I knew it was one of them. One where he's like Buffalo Bill or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all about the buffalo pelts.
Yeah.
They don't shit about the meat, and that's why the Native Americans were all pissed, because that's their food and that, and all the white folk, all they cared about was just getting the furs.
But I'm
It
still like,
reminded me of the episode of The Simpsons where they're doing all these things and literally they throw an apple at a buffalo and it dies. Somebody
yeah.
like spits at the buffalo and it dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it annoyed me that like it's still 1720 or whatever. It's like these people could easily salt buffalo meat and they could be fed for their trek back to France. Like it's such a waste of food. And then
The French as like a whole. I've already said it, but I'm just meaning the French as the French people.
on
Can't
the
get
French
it in there.
on the Frenchman front, they just happen to just know exactly what the Predator's doing. Is it because they're smarter than the Comanche? Like, just all of a sudden, the Frenchman are like, he definitely wants to hunt and kill everybody. That's absolutely what he's doing.
Yeah. See, this is where another one of these fan theories kick in.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they can now run with this Predator format for quite a while. Like you can have a Predator in ancient Japan, you can have a Predator in ancient Egypt. Apparently they're reckoning this is the Predator was in like the Crusades, like the French and the kind of European Crusades, so they know about Predator lore.
Oh, okay.
So they really reckon like Predator kind of medieval time, obviously when the French and all that were around. So that's been passed down, and that's what people are thinking is why the French know straight away.
That's
these.
That's a good workaround for the white man just working out what's going on here and helping them.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 more low points. One for me was the stump. Ugh, I didn't need to see the stump that much. And her rubbing
Stuff like that doesn't bother me. I thought it was quite.
her rubbing stuff.
That was gross though. You've seen bits coming off of it.
Just no need. That made me feel unwell. And my last one I've got. The Predator has to be disappointed with his performance in the final battle. Like
all Predators must be, because I've never seen a film where a Predator comes down to Earth and lives to tell a tale about it. They always die.
But like Andy says, he must know how his own like stuff works. And it's like, my helmet. Where the hell's my helmet? Like I'd be wanting to get that thing back. That is crucial to my weapon system. And it's yeah. And I feel like
my theory of that he's just a little jakey. It works.
I had to also rewind to work out what had happened because I got all the moving parts. I got okay, she's got the helmet, and he fired a thing. So I had to go back. It's like what? So he fired it, but she didn't seem to move. So like she's just sitting against the tree, and he shoots his arrow, and she just sits there, and all of a sudden it's like flying out behind her and going round about, and it's like, was it that sensitive that immediately upon coming out it knew to look back around again? Because the Predator didn't have his dots on his head at that point, and I'm like, no, it didn't quite.
Yeah, it was when he shot it. It was still there on his head.
I think he would see it. Would he not see it?
I don't know if it's poking him in the eye with it.
Is it infrared? Does it show up in his eyesight? I don't know either way. But yeah, he'd be disappointed, I think, with how he went down.
I feel like he got weaker as the film went on, because at one point he was picking people up with one hand, he was throwing people around. He was
getting fucked up. He got shot at by the French. He got eaten by a lion. He got hit by a wolf. He was
literally getting
by a snake.
He picked up an entire bear just after being bitten by it, and then all of a sudden he can barely throw this girl around.
I reckon if a bear was attacking me and bit me a few times, I'd probably rage kill it. But then after I've been eaten by the bear, I don't think I could rage kill another thing.
He was soldering like about 10 cuts closed at one point as well.
Exactly.
Like
that was only my downfall of it. Is it was a bit downfall. He was inconsistently strong.
I think he consistently got weaker.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of adds up. But yeah, by the end, it wasn't so much of a win in the end. Like he wasn't as tough as he was at the start.
I've got a low point that really narks me off, right? And I don't know if it's because I watched Alien, right? And I've always just thought of this. Who goes, ooh, blood, it's glowing. I'll wipe that on my face.
Yeah.
Because
that's supposed to be like
acid. It could burn you.
Well, it could be a mark of honor or something like that. Where you kills blood or something like that.
I don't know whether they'll come across acid in the wild in the Great Plains in America. Might not have. There's not many science labs.
I don't know. I don't instantly go, oh, right, I'm not going to rub my face in that. Like, I'm not going to go in mud because that could just be shit. and then just rub my face out, got a big stripe on my face. That could be dog shit.
I guess they would. Like, I think it's part of obviously the history is when you've killed something to be proud of, you cover yourself in the blood of it. So they must have thought, like, I'll just do it with this green stuff as well. What does it really matter? And it's like, you seem to be doing all right.
Fucking, you're glowing. That's the point. This shit's glowing. If I put this in my face, I'm gonna be a fucking target. She's not the smartest.
I've also realised it's the advertising for this film, not her with the green face paint on.
Yes.
So that's the last shot of the film. It's literally her with the green face paint on. Spoiler. That's me for low points.
Well, my last one is Rufio from Hook. I'm glad he got killed.
Rufio.
As soon as I seen him, I was like, that's fucking Rufio.
Is it actually him?
No, it's not. He just had the same similar kind of hairstyle. And he had that same kind of like smarmy look in his face.
Cool then. That's us with low points.
Yeah.
On point 4, the stats. 2 shits. I missed the English language one. Apparently there's an English language shit in there. And then there's a
Rufio says, your dog picked up shit.
Right, there we go.
Scat.
And then the other one said scat.
Okay, and then there's a merde from one of the Frenchmen, so there's 2 shits. No F-bombs. Apparently this is comfortably the least sweary Predator movie of all the Predators. There's Effing and Jeffing everywhere in the old ones. 3 explosions only. That was when the Predator's kind of wristband thing went off. Nothing. I didn't count any of these kind of musket things as explosions, so I ignored them. However, 37 deaths, including the Predator. Normally I do animals and people, like separate. I think the Predator counts as a person. I think I put him in there. So 37 deaths. A majority at the hands of the Predator, but a good chunk at the hands of Naru as well. The quotas, though, does a buffalo count as a cow? If it does, then we had buffalo in the cows
Because
category.
it's a dead animal.
It's definitely, well, we got into that. No goats, though. Dead animal. Bird, fish, lion, rabbit, wolf, buffalo, rodent, because I don't know if it was a rat or a mouse, deer, bear, possum. I've got on top of all that. So, yeah, dead animal, plenty. Now, what I did feel at one point, every scene was, here's another animal. Here's another animal. Oh, remember this animal? They used to be in the wild. And I just kept going one, and then ended with the bear was the last one. Pedos, none, I think. Devil, definitely not there. The KKK Nazis didn't exist yet. Tom Cruise trifecta, a struggle, but we got running, and that's it.
Just pulled out a motorbike.
Yeah, a tough one from Tom Cruise this week. So I thought this film was called Prey. I will count how much prey there is, how many different kinds of prey there are. Definition: an animal that is hunted or killed for food. So therefore, nothing that the predator hunts in the film is prey, would be the theory that I would come up with. So 12 different things were prey. Deer, fish, bird, ant, rodents, snake, and rabbits. The lion, I don't think is prey, because I don't think they were hunting the lion for food, they were hunting it for safety. And then I don't know if the lion were hunting the humans for food or not, or if it was just, again, protecting its area. But yeah. And then also, for a laugh, I was going to count how often they prayed. The different spelling of prayed seems to have only been when she found the buffaloes, and put her thing. She had a bit of a kind of moment with God at that point. But yeah, I thought there was going to be more speaking to the powers above. But no, there wasn't really much of that. Did they say the thing? Did they say pray?
No.
Yes.
I think no, unless it was in French, but no one actually said pray at any point.
Oh.
And did they say the thing, if it bleeds, can we kill it? Or
Yes.
can we kill it? We can't kill it. Yes, they did. Tabby said the thing, and I pointed at Telly when he said it, and I was like, oh, he said the thing.
Still on Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes, but they did not say get to the chopper. So they didn't say that. Any stats from you, Chris?
Yeah, there's one Wilhelm scream
Yes.
when the guy got chucked over the tree.
I've got Wilhelm for Chris, brackets, when the dickheads fought the Predator. I've forgotten about that. The gang of Comanche show up just to be arseholes to Naru and then get killed. Like, as soon as they started maltreating her, I'm like, you are going down at the hands of a Predator very shortly.
Yeah, I thought the guy was going to try, like, rape her. And then I thought the Predator was going to come in and save her. Well, not intentionally save her, but just save the day, but no.
No, they just wanted to beat her up.
Yeah.
It was a good Wilhelm, but also mixed in with like another scream. Like, it wasn't just a Wilhelm, but it seemed to be kind of cross-mixed with something else. It was more than just the normal sound. But yeah, I definitely heard it. Any other stuff?
That was it. There's no nut shots, I don't think.
It's tough when you don't know anything about a film. Like, you can't cool stuff. It's just, you have to go into it. So I thought, right, literally pray.
I'm
And
not
Andy,
thinking about doing that.
we don't come to Andy for stats anymore because Andy runs Point 5, the 10-point podcast quiz. Andy,
God, this could be an absolute disaster.
So my agent had to stop me doing what I wanted to do because it was better than Dinkler and Dinklage.
Oh God.
So
You served the
originally,
racist.
originally, it was going to be called Hollywood Predators.
That's what I genuinely thought that's what you were going to do.
To which, apparently, I'm not allowed to do. So I thought, UK Predators? But apparently, I got shut down on that one as well. So
Good.
It's not Hollywood Predators or UK Predators. It is a quiz called Predators.
Ah, okay.
So it's very easy. We'll do the standard rules. Go back and forth. We'll start with Bruce. You'll get what happened as you go along. Right. What is a great white shark's only predator?
I'm assuming it's a killer whale. That could be
It
wrong.
is a killer whale. Yes, I will
Hey.
take that.
Or an orca.
I don't know. I was older than I
Orca.
actually knew.
I was right. It's pretty easy. Well, you get the hang of this, Chris. What is the largest predator in the animal kingdom?
Now that you've already mentioned Hollywood Predators, I will not make any jokes at any point during this quiz about
Largest predator.
naming names.
Tiger? Oh, bear! Oh my fucking God!
No, it's not bear either. Bruce.
So the largest predator in the animal kingdom. That we said.
Yes.
So therefore, my theory would be the largest animal eats another animal. Therefore, it's quite tough to beat a blue whale.
It's a sperm whale, blue whale. Yeah, it's one and the same.
A whale. Like, I
Yeah,
feel like a blue whale eats little fishies, doesn't it? Does it do it on purpose? I don't know.
Yes, it's hungry, isn't it?
Oh, so yeah, well, just a point instead of me. Whales
Right.
so far.
I have to count as animals. I count as a fish.
The mammals.
I'm wrong. Right, Bruce. What is considered to be the meanest animal in the world?
Meanest. What is mean? A cat.
Not a cat, Chris.
Killer whales, because they play with their food before they kill it.
Back to whales again.
No, it's not killer whales. It was the honey badger.
Oh, it is the honey badger. Oh, God.
We're always pissed off them honey
They are.
badgers.
Oh.
Chris, which 3,700 pounds of force, no, with 3,700 pounds of force, is the animal with the strongest bite?
Crocodile. Alligator.
Oh, so close. I'm going to pass it over to Bruce if he doesn't
That's
get
right.
it.
So unless it's a specific kind, I'm going to guess hippo.
No,
Nile crocodile.
I'll give it to Chris. It was a saltwater crocodile.
Yeah.
Crocodile's
I'll give
crocodile. You gave him fucking sperm
Oh,
whale and he said blue
whale.
whale.
No.
Bruce, what is the longest venomous snake in the world?
Sammy the snake. Longest venomous snake. King cobra.
It is the king cobra.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say black mamba.
Chris, which spider is the most deadly to humans?
I definitely knew this.
Funnel web?
Forgotten. I
It's the
think.
funnel web spider, yes.
Very good.
Told that out his arse.
Hmm.
Who am I going with?
Me.
Bruce. Euresis maritimus is
Called
the
racist.
scientific name for a polar bear, which translates from what to Latin? So that's Latin for a polar bear, but what does it actually translate to? in
What
English?
is it directly Latin to English? What does it mean?
Yes.
I would say, can
Euresis
you give me again?
maritimus.
Right. My dad knows Latin. Can I phone a friend? Is that a thing? Right. I know that one. So I'm going to go for sea dog.
Not sea dog, Chris.
So what I'm doing, the Latin of that
Translating
translates to
Euresis
what's
maritimus.
What does that translate into English as? It means polar bear, but what does it actually translate as?
Yes. It's a polar bear, but I want the Latin translation.
Albino bear. I don't know.
It's not an albino bear. It was bear of the sea.
Bear of the sea. That would make more sense. I thought it'd be a bit stranger. I got maritimus means sea,
Yeah.
but I didn't know what the other one.
Where we're going. I don't even know the scores.
It's 3-2 to me, and Chris is going first.
Okay. Chris. Plans were in place to reintroduce which wildcat species into Norfolk, Cumbria, Northumberland, and Aberdeenshire as part of a rewilding movement?
No. Jaguar.
It is not a jaguar.
So when you say rewilding, I begin to think it might be an animal that was already there. So I'm going to say something like a lynx.
It is a lynx.
There we go.
He knows his predators.
Yeah, my method to my madness there.
Bruce, which is the world's largest predatory fish?
Fish. Ooh. Well, we might not know. It might be so deep down in the ocean we have never actually found it yet. But fish, biggest fish. Why am I not remembering the name of any big fishies? Chris strikes me as a fisherman, so he might have an answer here. I don't know. I don't want to make a stupid guess. So I actually can't even come up with a Billy Big Mouth Bass.
Biggest fish. Are you including the whale shark because it eats krill?
This is according to National Geographic, so the largest predatory fish.
Great white shark.
It is the great white shark.
That was too obvious. Damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Chris, last one. Can he win this if he gets this?
He can't, but we'll see if he gets it first.
Okay. What is the largest bird of prey?
Harlequin.
That's what it eats. I'll go ostrich. Why not?
Not an ostrich.
I don't know what they eat. If it's just, I was the big largest flightless bird.
I mean, it might eat animals, but I don't think it's a bird of prey necessarily. Is it a bald-headed eagle? Is that the
golden eagle?
No, it is the Andine condor.
Oh, okay. I won 4-2.
See, I've never heard of condor eating anything other than fucking seed and fish.
Yeah, but it's a bird of prey. A condor is a bird of prey.
I think you could add ostrich to bird of prey.
Well, I don't know, like, what ostriches eat.
Predators would have been a good quiz, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, when I seen that, I genuinely thought that's where you were going to go with it.
That's where I was down the road of.
Get the podcast shut down. Okay, on to point 6. Movies within movies. Chris, will come to you for movies within movies first.
There's absolutely nobody, I don't think. That was,
I didn't even look.
I had a quick look. There's a lot of people who had worked in previous films, like Predators. No, they've not done that. Like, fuck, I can't remember. There's people had people had worked in other films that we'd done, but it hadn't.
No cast.
Yes.
No cast. Yeah. I didn't think there would be.
As for us, I'm making myself the bad guy for once. I'm being the Predator because I like Predators that much. I put Bruce as Naru's brother, and I put Andy as the fur guy. The Frenchy fur guy.
I want a different route with recasting, and I thought just picture us in these roles, okay? No fancy, okay? So Chris is Sari the dog, so Chris is running around on his all fours. I'm going to be the wolf that was chasing down the bear that gets my head and my spine ripped out, and Andy's the bear fighting the predator fist to fist, I think. So that's if you just placed us in instead of the CGI animals, the real animals, that's my take on it. Andy, have you recast anyone?
Right. Well, it's not really so much recasting, but it fits into this point. When I was watching this film, I was like, Naru, she reminds me of somebody. Who does she remind me of? It's really annoying me. And then I came up with my recasting. She basically looks like a Native American Summer Glau.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Literally, especially the picture behind Bruce at the side-on angle, she just looks like Summer Glau when Summer Glau's all kind of depressed and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, pretty much. She's put Summer Glau in this film. I would have no issues with it.
That might work into my could this come out in 1995? I think she'd be too young for that anyway. So yeah, for.
But however, my actual recasting was you take the Predator out, this one, the wee JK, and put a proper Predator in, I'd be okay with it.
Cleaned a lot of them. Cleaned a lot of
What do
them
you mean
out.
by a proper predator?
I
Do you
want a
mean
new
like
blood predator or an unblooded
Right.
predator. Give me a proper predator.
Does he have the laser cannon? Is that the
Yes.
Yeah, so one of the things I've been doing, could this movie have come out in 1995? I think it most definitely could. That'd have been 5 years after Predator 2. And I'd like to think it would be a reboot after how bad Predator 2 was. So, like, right, back to basics.
It's
I don't think it's that bad.
It's one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. So I don't know, Summer Glau would probably be too young to play the role. But yeah, I'll look through who'd be available. I think finding a Native American actress to play a lead in a movie in 1995 would be a real struggle for them. So you might have to get, I don't know, Summer Glau or someone else instead to play it. I created a new one. The first time he spoke in the entire film, I was like, so her brother, he's a dead man walking. So dead man walking is a new thing I'm bringing in the film. It's like someone from the second you see them in a film, it's like, you are not making it out alive. And I was worried. I thought it might be the dog at one point. I thought no. And then the brother was maybe dead and he came back and then he was right at the end. And I thought, oh, they might make it out. And then nah, as it got like, you're definitely going down here. So yeah, I was
It
quite
was
glad.
Wasabi for me. I think it's called Wasabi or something like that.
Wasabi.
Rufio. As soon as I seen him, I was like, "You're a goner, mate."
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the arseholes that beat her up, but like they'd be my backup. But yeah, I was still holding out hope that Tabby was going to snuff it towards the end. Who's in the wrong movie? This is tough. Who's in it? I think everyone's kind of in the wrong movie. Maybe the bear looks a bit like it's stuck in, but the guy who was eaten up the tree by the lion, he seemed to just be unnecessarily aggressive about the whole thing, and the rest of the whole squad seemed to be kind of all right. Like they would deal with her. He seemed to be a bit angry. And then what happens next? Well, I've got at least 3 predators come and wipe out a lot of them and then head home again. But Andy tells me otherwise if they give out trophies and all this.
No,
Oh, you,
like-
you do have to Alien vs Predator.
Yeah, they do it in Alien vs Predator. They do it in Predators 2. Obviously, when Danny Glover kills that Bel-Air Predator.
Oh, yeah.
The big chieftain dude comes down and goes, actually, that guy was a bit of a cunt. You're good. Here you go. The Predators do have honor.
Okay,
Spoiler
so
alert.
we'll leave you
That's
alone.
the same gun from Predator 2.
Ah, yeah, I read that somewhere. Yeah.
So yeah, there was that, and obviously Alien versus Predator. She literally works with a Predator, and then after killing the Queen Alien, that Predator goes, "There you go, you can have this." Obviously, even the shit new film, obviously somebody's sucked off a Predator somewhere, so they got an Iron Man out of nowhere.
Right,
It's like that film fucked up the entire Predator franchise almost. So yeah, Predators do have this whole thing. So they might have just been coming down going, "Holy shit, yeah, you dealt with one of our little like dickheads. He was a trainee, but still." We're pretty good. We wiped you out, but yeah, here you go. Here's a trophy.
Oh, do you know what I would like to see is for them come down, wipe out them lot, and then see other predators come down like, no, that's not how you do this. They defeated him. You give them the thing. There's a big predator fight on Earth.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, that could work because yeah, these are like I said, the outcast predators, the feral predators, south of the border.
Yeah.
What I'd like to see is a predator versus a samurai in the next one.
They've
both got like codes of honor.
That's a good point. Yeah, and you could definitely do that kind of aspect. Even do a squadron, like do like a trio of samurai or something like that against them. But yeah, very good. Thank you. But a bit educational. Yeah, so I thought they might just get wiped out. But there we go. On to point 7. Point 7 on 10 Point Podcast is the tropes that need to die, initiated by Chris. So why don't you lead off?
It has been previously mentioned. I struggled. There was a few of them I was going to put, but I eventually settled on is when a film does not put subtitles in when it needs to have them in. Because I was like, I was watching the film going, what? Oh, fucking, where's the subtitles gone?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I want to know what they're saying. But then I realized like we're allowed to see it through her eyes, so we don't know what they're saying, blah blah blah. But I still like to know what they're saying.
My limited French meant I could understand bits and pieces of it.
I know.
I was like, I was all right. I was surviving, and then it got to one bit. I'm like, you've lost me now. I need to find
They've
it.
done another films where
Speak English, motherfucker.
I think it might be like Japanese or Chinese films where they're talking to somebody, and then they start shouting in Mandarin or something. And I was like, I want to know what they're saying.
Oh, you wait till you watch Everything and Nothing and All at Once.
Right.
Everything everywhere all at once. Yeah.
But just put subtitles in.
The one that jumped to me actually, as mentioned there, as Andy mentioned earlier on, is Mortal Kombat. Because in Mortal Kombat, they have, like, at the beginning of the film is a Japanese guy and a Chinese guy. So it has its subtitles, and then it's like telling you what they're saying to each other when they're talking, and all of a sudden this goes in Chinese, and then had more subtitles. Like, I had no idea they were speaking Chinese, and like, you didn't have to tell me it was a different language. Like, just tell me what they are saying. I don't understand Chinese or Japanese, so it's fine. Just tell me subtitles wise. So my trope that needs to die. A young woman doing man things because she's not supposed to. Like I've had enough of these films now. We all get it. Like it doesn't
I know.
need.
Women got the vote. The
Yeah.
main character-
They've got their lot. But yeah, I'm sick of the main character like being told, no, you are a woman, you can't do this, and her being like, huh? Well, I'll show you. Like, okay, right, fine.
I mean, all we needed was her to have a lesbian love interest from another tribe, and then we've been sorted.
If you say so. But yeah, she just could have been like, why couldn't she just have been accepted? Oh yeah, you can come and fight with us, and it would have been fine. It didn't need the conflict. It didn't need the conflict.
But I also don't understand like how we ever got into this position, right? Let's get into this point right now.
no.
God.
Right. If somebody wants to do something and they're doing it and you don't want to do it, what's the issue?
Why do you have to stop them? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I never like the olden days were like, oh, women can't do that. If they want to do it, just let them do it. If you want to sit on your throne and do fuck all, let a woman go do it. Why does it have to be a dude, or why does it have to be that guy? Like
I think the whole point is guys felt emasculated by women, so they didn't want them to do it.
It's like the whole abortion thing where they're trying to ban abortions again just because they've lost control of the women. So.
I don't know how we got into this position. I think that's why I get most annoyed by all this kind of stuff that's all kicking off and all the political correctness, because I don't understand why we even got into that position anyway. That was me back in the day. If I was like, I don't know, back in the old Mayan times and a woman wanted to come and do something, like, on you go, mate.
I'm glad of the help. Yeah.
I can't be arsed.
Yeah.
If you want to go and rule that kingdom down there, on you go, because I can't be arsed.
You want to go out and kill all of the animals for all of the food for the whole village? Fine, on you go. Yeah, you can go kill all the bears you want.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you got
into this position?
Have you got a trope that needs to die, Andy?
Reboots and remakes.
Maybe prequels.
Yeah, prequels, reboots, and remakes. Just in general, they're not done well these days. They exist and they don't need to exist.
I'm definitely in the sequels over prequels camp now. I'm prequeled out. I don't need any more of them. On to point 8 then. The nominations for the 10 Point Podcast Awards. Who wants to start?
I'll go first. I've got a few.
Okay.
So my best actor, I've gone for Amber Midthunder.
She was actually
Also,
very good. We've actually
What a
not
name.
talked about her too much. It's a great name. Not as good as Dakota Beavers, but yeah, Amber Midthunder. Yeah, she was really good. There's a couple of scenes where I was like, you're actually really good at this. There's one really good bit she had when she was like hiding behind a log talking to someone, and I'm like, yeah, you're really good. Yeah, I'd nominate her as well.
My best badass is Naru.
Yeah.
Best supporting, I went for the dog. It was the best little dog ever.
We do have best animal, so I've got Coco
Uh,
as Sari as best animal, but I did nearly put best supporting as the dog as well. So yeah, one way or another.
My biggest bellend, I put Rufio from Hook's lookalike. Well, his colleague was Wasabi or Wasapi or something
I
like
think it's Wasapi with a P. Yeah, Wasapi.
that. My best villain, I went for the Predator.
Yeah, has to be.
Best death,
I don't think he's a villain.
He's definitely a villain.
He was like just doing a wee bit of hunting.
Darth Vader was just a bit of hunting for people. Was he a villain?
The problem is that he's hunting the hero of our story here, so he's the villain.
My best death was the bear trap to the face. It could have been the sword, the shield one.
Yeah, I thought about the shield, but I thought it's maybe not the flashiest one. So yeah, I'm happy to go with whatever you want to go.
My best plan was Naru's trap at the end. Oh, there you go.
Oh. Yeah, her final plan it's a good plan, and its success rate is very good.
Yeah.
My best. It took in every aspect of the film, like all the bits and pieces that we've experienced so far, which is good.
My best weapon was the tomahawk.
So I went best inanimate object for the tomahawk.
I was stuck with the inanimate object.
Has to be that. If it go weapon, I think it has to be that. I don't know if I had a best weapon award.
With string.
What have I got? The worst I'll add it now. The worst special effects with Bear, since you seemed so animated about it before.
Oh, actually, I had a best death. We did best death, didn't we?
Yeah, the bear trap to the face.
Okay, I forgot this one. This would rival my for it. The Predator intentionally ricocheting a bullet off of his helmet to kill someone, just standing there with his helmet, and it'd be like begging the guy to shoot it so he can just go boing and head it back at him again. But yeah, we'll go to the bear trap if you like. But yeah, I forgot that I'd written that one down. But I thought it was great.
Bit controversial. My most unexpected was the pistol from Predator 2 making an appearance. That blew my mind.
Well, I think I'd long given up on Predator 2 by that point. Stopped caring. Maybe.
The best fight, I put the one where a brother dies.
The They're all about the same.
I think him whooping everybody's ass.
I reckon
Alright.
the big battle scenes are good.
Okay,
fight.
I'll concede that one. Nothing there. That's it. Best line: "If it bleeds, we can kill it."
Oh yeah, I thought of that. Yeah, that's good.
Best animal: the dog.
Yep.
Best soundtrack: have we still got that, or did we get rid of it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we can nominate.
I want to
anything.
nominate the film, but I thought the soundtrack was fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, it
What
had
really well for
moments. Yeah.
Best costume: the Predator. I love the skin helmet, the hard skin helmet. I think that's me.
Chris
Right, yeah.
nominated our film, basically.
Yeah. Andy, what about you?
I don't think I've got anything else to add in. I think you covered it all.
Oh, best hair: the Predator's dreadlocks.
I wasn't sure if that was hair. What have I got? I think you've hit a lot. Oh, best twist. There actually is a lion. I like that as a twist. That was a good one. That's it. Oh no, hang on. Worst plan. I've got the Frenchman's bait plan. Went pretty
Yeah.
bad. And its success rate went very poorly. And also, part of the plan seems to have been the Predator will definitely just go straight to the middle and not walk past us at all, which is a terrible part of it. And the worst special effects, the bear, I think. I wasn't going to mention it, but since Andy did, I'm going for that. I think that's me. Yeah, Chris hit most of them. On to point 9 then, the moral of the story. What lesson were we supposed to learn? Andy, what was your moral of the story?
If you're going hunting, wear some high-vis vests, because that's how you don't get hunted. Pretty much what America's taught me.
Maybe that's what her green stuff. Maybe she invents high.
Yeah, should put high-vis blood on ourselves, so it would be fine.
I've got be smarter than a beaver, I think is the moral of the
Oh,
story.
that's a good one.
I like that though. That was good. That she was setting up the story about how the beaver chewed its
Oh,
huddle.
that's your Michael Pena award. Best
Oh!
story.
Yeah. Okay, the beaver. That's called Michael Pena. Chris, what's your moral of the story?
Put everything on rope and you'll never lose it.
Right.
This repeatedly comes back to you no matter
Yeah.
what happens. Okay then, on to point 10. Trying to do this while I'm not looking. The 10-point rating. We rate the movie out of 10. Andy selected it, so Andy goes first.
Right, this film wasn't bad. It wasn't brilliant. It wasn't groundbreaking. It wasn't annoying. It's a reboot, and I think I'm done with reboots. So I think it's going to get scored down a lot because of it. It's bang average, so I'm going to give it a 5.
5 for Andy. I've gone alphabetical, so I'll go next. I don't have a little blurb again. I used to write these down and I keep forgetting to do it. I quite enjoyed it. I can't really fault it particularly. It does a lot of things right. It's kind of my sort of thing. It doesn't overstate its welcome. Everybody's good in it. Nobody spoils it. A lot of films we have somebody spoils the film for me. So I'm going to go as high as an 8 out of 10. A rewatch could shift it either way. I think if I rewatched it again and got a bit bored, it might go down. But I think also I might be like, oh, I actually really like how they do it.
Predator did it better, so why make a film that is the same film?
It's up there with Predator and Predators for me. They're the two. I'm not sure if it's better than Predators. I might have to watch Predators again too.
I like Predators. There's always been up there. Like my running order, and there's been loads of this on the internet at the moment, is literally Predator, Predators, Alien versus Predator. Then I would put this in. Then I'm struggling because the rest don't.
I need to go back and watch them all again.
You know you want to put Predator 2 last. That's why you didn't want to say it out loud.
I think
Because
I would say Predator 2, and then Alien vs Predator 2 does not exist, and the Predator does not exist. That's
right.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's like Andy says. The top half is easy. Like you know what your best 5 Predator films are, and the rest is a bit. Chris, we're waiting on you. Chris, where you're heading. So, what are you going to give it?
Well, I'm like a Predator bias because I love Predator films, so I absolutely loved it. From the 35-minute mark onwards, for me it was just like non-stop action. Like you think you know what's going to happen, and then they throw you a curveball. Like for previous films, I thought it was great. Like slight little tweaks like that, great. And yeah, if they can keep the standard up with the rest of the new reboot that they're doing, I'll be a happy chap. So I'm giving it an 8.
8 from Chris as well. I thought you were going to go really high there. I didn't think it was going to be a 10, but I thought you might.
No, I was tempted with the 9, but I thought Predator
overall,
is better.
This film, like because it's just out now, everybody's absolutely loving it. They're all jizzing all over it, and I think it's a bit of what Bruce said before: is people have not seen the Predator film. Like they've not seen the Arnie one. They think this is brand new. They don't know about Predator lore, and I think that's what annoys me about this film. It's just. Right, okay, I've had to do a deep dive in it. What is this Predator? Because it does not exist in the franchise I know. Right, you've done that. So, okay, I can kind of forgive you. So if you're a proper like Alien versus Predator nut, this film doesn't really work. It exists. It's there. But
I had the lore and stuff like me. I had her learning that it doesn't kill people that are unarmed and things. I still had everything for me.
nah, you don't know your predators. Name me 8 types of predator. Go.
I didn't realize. I didn't think
Do
we were
you
going.
even know 8 types of predator?
Yes, you got the blooded, the unblooded, the predator, the elders,
The predator,
Well,
just
yeah,
naming
yeah,
the race.
assassin predators.
The pred aliens, the matriarch pred aliens.
Exactly.
I didn't think Andy was going to gatekeep Predator lore to people on this podcast. That was a new
I've
thing.
watched this 3 times in a week. And
Have you?
yeah, I watched it once with myself, and then Nicola wanted to watch it, so I watched it again. And then I had it on in the background doing my notes, and then I stopped doing my notes and watched it again. So,
Well, there you go. The
I
official
can stick it on again tonight and watch it. It'd be fucking great.
The official rating is a 7 out of 10. Pretty good for a brand new film. I mean, it's probably behind a couple that we did on the other ones, but yeah, 7 out of 10. Pretty good. Andy's dragging the rating down a bit. Me and Chris both gave it an 8. But theme-wise, Andy's got a theme going? Question mark.
Aye.
This fits in your theme.
This fits in my theme. Your film fitted in my theme. What else have we done this season so far?
Clerks 2.
Clerks 2 technically fits into my theme.
Oh God.
That word technically.
What did I pick? I wasn't
Bruce definitely fits into
Ninja
my theme.
Turtles.
This one definitely fits in. And then what was the wheel? The wheel.
Beautiful creatures.
Beautiful creatures.
That fits into my theme. So yeah, every film so far except maybe Chris's is a stretch.
Animals?
Not animals.
Monsters. Mutants.
Not monsters.
I think Chris did monsters, didn't he? Anyway, what was I going to say? Nah, that doesn't make sense. But sequels, reboots, IP. Is it based on things that were not original stories?
No.
Okay, anyway, we'll come back to that. It's hard to guess on one film. Although, say Andy did give us 5, or whatever it was. So next time, the next selection is The Wheel again. Now, it picked Beautiful Creatures for us last time, which went down like a lead balloon. So the Wheel will, the new branded 10-point podcast wheel, that makes it so much harder for everybody to see what's on it. But you can still see what wins. So we'll spin the wheel when we're ready, and we'll find out what's next.
We're kind of skewing the theme here.
That's fine.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that one.
Which one is it?
Batman Begins.
Batman Begins. Another Batman. We're talking about Batman on the news this week. So there we have it. Batman Begins. Do we know who put that on the wheel?
No idea.
Because I know it wasn't from my end.
Oh, Chris, he's got a cheeky wee smile on his face. Look at him.
No, it's not me. I thought this was the person-specific wheel.
No, this is not the person's
this
wheel.
This is the view and proof wheel next time.
We've got a
Right,
special
okay.
one next time. Yeah, so there we go. Batman Begins. Christian Bale, Christopher Nolan, who got chewed out badly by Andy the last time we featured them on the podcast.
Oh, this movies with movies next week is going to be an absolute nightmare. It's hard as them.
So you have it. It should be easy enough to find, unless Warner Brothers and that goes completely out of business and they have to take all their movies off of streaming services. But Batman Begins, beginning another series for us to not finish. Find that 7 days later. Come back to us, and we'll see you next time on the 10 Point Podcast.